And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes back with another video. This time we're counting down the top 10 cards available for under 10k MT in NBA 2K21 My Team. Shout out to all my budget ballers out there. Also, shout out to all my fathers out there, because happy Father's Day. Even the ones ducking process servers and child support payments, like, shout out to you. This is your day too. Shout out really to every father that's not Karl Malone. Anyways, let's get straight to the list. We'll start with some honorable mentions, and the first one is a card that came out yesterday, which is Michael Ray Richardson. Like, Michael Ray Richardson is actually pretty solid. Like, usually he's really good in 2K, he just can't shoot, and this one can. He has hot zones all over the place, 43 hoffs, 8 golds, 6'5", but I swear he looks a little bit bigger. He's got jump shot 12, which is Draymond Green release. So he's very similar to point guard Draymond. Point guard Draymond is better because he's that 2 inches taller and a much better defender, in my opinion. But I think that has a lot to do with the fact that he's 6'7". Either way, very good card. Only an 85 driving dunk. So his one issue is he's not going to be like a good dunker, which is fine. It is what it is. He is missing some badges, though, like flexible / sniper. Blinders on next gen he's missing, which makes him better on current gen. Other than that, he's basically just missing rebound badges and some finishing badges as well. Like, I don't think he has like Lob City finisher, but he's not a dunker, so I guess it really doesn't matter. And ice and veins. That's really the only issue with this card. And I mean, you can get him for 3k. Like, he's a really cheap card. Next up, we got Denny. I'm not going to try to say his last name. This card's really good. Like, he is. The reason he is an honorable mention is just because I think the cards that are on the list are just better. Personally, I think he plays better at the shooting guard position, but you can run him at point guard too just fine. Like, it's not really a big deal. He has jump shot 3, which is Jason Williams' release, with a release 130 upper, which is him and Nico Mannion. Shout out to Nico Mannion. I hope we get a pink diamond Nico Mannion in the next rewind set. Like, I really do. I want to see this man hoop. Denny's altogether super solid. Like, there's nothing really wrong or bad in regards to this card. Like, he's solid, right? Brick wall is definitely something I would give him for sure. Some of the rebounding badges might help. Ice and veins. Clutch defender, if you're on next gen, is very helpful as well. If you're over on current gen, I mean, like, he's pretty complete. You don't really need too much for him, but you can get him for around 8k, and I think he is worth it. Next up is a card who's not technically 10k, which is why he is an honorable mention, but I want to include this card on every single list so that anybody watching this channel will go pick up this card. Dino Raja. I believe the lowest I've seen him go thus far is around 15k. And I've talked about him in literally 2 straight videos, so I'm not going to go into like a huge amount of detail. You guys know how I feel about Big Dino. Like, he's a beast. Let's see exactly how low he's going. I'm recording this pretty early, so his price will drop later on. But we'll see what's up. Most people are out celebrating or whatever. I don't know what people do on Father's Day, dude. I have no idea. Anyways, I just go hang out at my parents' house. I don't know if there's like special events that occur. Trying to have a Father's Day kegger. I don't know, maybe. I feel like college kids might do that. I didn't go to college. Sad tear. So yeah, I mean, realistically, Dino's a beast. I'm not going to go into too much detail on him, but you know what's up. Like, you know what's up with Dino. And our final honorable mention will be my man RJ Barrett. Once again, he's an honorable mention because he's not quite 10k right now, but I have seen him drop below 10k periodically for the last couple days. And I do think majority of the cards like on this list are better than RJ Barrett, but he does have that Rudy Gay base, which is incredibly good. If you're a big fan of like Terry Dissinger, like RJ Barrett's going to be like the next best thing realistically. He's good. The one thing I will say about him though is his player build is 6'6", but he weirdly looks smaller than that. Most people who are 6'6" in this game look larger than that, but he tends to look smaller. I don't know what it is. Maybe that's just me tripping. If you're on next gen, you do have to give him like set shooter and clutch defender and stuff, which doesn't make sense, but it is what it is. So number 10. So our first card on the actual list will be Pink Diamond Anthony Davis from the Gladiator set. Shocking that this card is actually as good as it is, because usually when they give out like a lower tiered Anthony Davis, like he can't dribble, he's not that fast, stuff like that, but this card is not that at all. He's actually better than the Opal one we got. I think it was Idols 2, but I don't remember what season it was. Season 3, season 4, something like that. He's better than that card. Like, he's good. He can move. Great stats across the board. The 91 speed isn't terrible for Anthony Davis because of his size. Like, Tendencies, he's good too. 95 plus in basically all 4 that really matter. Badge-wise, like 23 golds, 33 hoffs, so he doesn't have the highest badge count, but Anthony Davis's player build and his jump shot are kind of why people choose him in the first place. As far as like badges to give him, handles for days, because he is kind of a dribbler, tight handles. Deadeye is pretty imperative. Ice and veins if he's going to be starting, or generally. Clutch defender, I mean, I don't know how much that helps, but I just like steps up defensively in big moments seems like something that I want, so I put it on every card I can. So number 9, we got Joe Caldwell, who in addition to having like a very interesting hairline, is also a Dwayne Wade clone. Now the thing is when you look at Joe Caldwell, like his badge count is going to be the real issue here. Like he has pretty much every badge that you want, but there's some badges he doesn't have. But I mean, you can pick this card up for like 7-8K, which I think is a good price. Great jump shot. He's got base 98 on very quick, which is one of the easiest jump shots to get off in quick succession. So if you're someone who's like a 3-point hunter, like these are the kind of guys that you want to look for. You do need to add badges like set shooter, clutch shooter, deadeye, sniper, flexible, green machine, ice and veins. Like he needs all of these. But it's just like you're buying him for the jump shot. If you like base 98, this is your guy. You don't have 400K to spend on Andre Karolinko, you know. Next up is another card that came out yesterday, and that's RJ Hampton. For me personally, for my playstyle, I mean, you can get this card for legitimately like 3,500 MT, like super cheap. He's one of the best cost benefit players in the game. This card is so good. I wish they gave him Trey Burke base like he had last year. That would have made this card better, but I mean, the jump shot he does have is not terrible whatsoever. It's just not as good as Trey Burke base. 6'6", he's got a stocky player build, like he's just at that cutoff at this point. Like you definitely want your point guard to be at least like 6'5". You can get away with some guys being like 6'4" if they have like a nice player build, but I don't know. I like this card a lot. I personally would use him over a few cards ahead of him. He has Anthony Edwards or Kyle Kuzma or Kobe White jump shot, whoever you prefer, which I like a lot. I mean, some of my favorite players in the game have this, like Michael Bridges or Markelle. I can never say it right, so, you know, slander me in the comments, I suppose. It is what it is. RJ Barrett is nasty, though. Like, there's a card that you can buy for 3,500 MT should not be this good, but yet here we are. He is. Next up, we got Markelle Fultz. Markelle Fultz at the 7 slot. I mean, this is basically, if you're a fan of Steph Curry, like, this is better Steph Curry. In my opinion, like, he's better than the dark matter Steph Curry, I think, personally. Like, he's a little bit bigger at 6'4". He's a little bit wider, so he plays defense better. He's just better overall defensively. He has that same Curry jump shot, which I really like. I'm never really a fan of Curry's jump shot, but this year I am. It's kind of weird. On very quick, which is good. Stats and badges wise, really solid. He is missing a few shooting badges that you want to give him, like clutch shooter. Corner specialist is always good to give him as well. Green machine, stuff like that. He only has gold deadeye, gold flexible, and gold hot zone, which we're just spoiled at this point when it comes to badges. Like, those are more than usable, but with majority of cards coming out with almost 50 Hoff badges at this point, like, you'd like to see those Hoff, but it's really not that big of a deal. If you're looking for a straight, like, bucket getter point guard that plays like a Steph Curry, but you don't want to deal with the lack of defense that Steph Curry brings you, Markelle Fultz is exactly what you're looking for. And the fact that you can pick this guy up for around 7-8K, really solid deal. The lowest right now is 9,600, but he will go lower. He periodically goes down to like 8K, so something to think about. Number 6 is a card that I'm way higher on than a lot of people, and that's Pink Diamond Obi Toppin. Like, Obi Toppin's been incredible all year long. That free opal we got was great. This card is even better, and he plays the shooting guard or point guard. Just like Denny, I think he's better at the shooting guard position than at the point guard, but the card itself is incredible. Like, he's big at 6'9", so he can play defense on those bigger point guards if you need him to. He's not the best defender in the world, but it doesn't really matter, I guess, when you have the player build that he has. Now, personally, I wish that he had the top of the key hot zone, because I do like to shoot a lot with my point guards there, but it's not the end of the world. Like, all things considered, it's not. I know I like to make it that. Jump shot 75, Pascal Siakam, Brandon Ingram base, Penny Hardaway. All cards I love, so I'm a big fan of the jump shots. Really easy to green. He is missing some pretty key badges, though. Deadeye and Flexible, or Sniper over on Next Gen, he does not have, which is not the greatest. And Clutch Shooter, which I think is one of the most overlooked badges in this game because it will literally make you make more whites in clutch time, which is, you'd be shocked how much you need that. He only has Gold Clamps, Gold Heart Crusher, and Gold Interceptor. It's not a reason to stay away from the card, but it is something to keep, in the back of your mind. Next up, we got Boban at 5. All right, I'll be honest. I don't really like this card that much. But I cannot argue that this dude is the most annoying center, probably besides Mirasan and Dino, in the game as far as rebounding goes. He out-rebounds everybody, and it's so annoying, dude. If you watch my last video, the 50K video, what I said about George Mirasan is very similar to Boban. He's just a 3-and-D big man, but he's 7'3", 290 pounds, so he's not as thick as Mirasan or as tall, but doesn't really matter. He has a better jump shot. He has Set Shot 2, which is Simbular's release, so he's basically a new Simbular, essentially. And he's really, really good with that jump shot. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Simbular's jump shot, but it just kind of looks better off Boban for some reason. I don't really know what that's all about. He cannot dribble at all, right? His speed with ball is terrible. If you're on Next Gen, he's 7'3", so he's still moving super quick for no reason. But once again, another thing to kind of keep in mind. So number 4 is Eddie Jones. He did appear on the 50K list in the honorable mention section, but the fact that he's under 10K is crazy. He has some of the best steal animations in the game. There's just certain cards that just make it easier to steal the ball. And Eddie Jones, Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, all those guys do it. Kawhi to a certain extent too. He has a wet jump shot too. Eddie Jones is just nice. You're getting him for his intangibles, not his badge count. And you can find some that have unlimited shoes or additional badges. 39 hops, 15 golds isn't terrible. He's got the same releases like Moses Malone and Jarrett Allen and Eddie Johnson, which is a very good release. Jump shot 31. This card is straight solid. There's just nothing bad I can say about it. All right, next up, we got my boy, Nick Batum. Now, some people get a little too hyped on Nick Batum. Let's be real, they really do. But he's 6'9" at the point guard position. He moves well, good jump shot. Realistically, he doesn't really need any badges added to him. You can take him straight out of the box and go compete against some of the better point guards in the game. That's not... It's just rare. Jump shot 40 is good. Same releases like Xavier McDaniels and the GOAT, Jeremy Lin. 93 three-pointer. It's just what more can you really want? Now, he's going to be significantly better over on Next Gen because he does have that Hall of Fame blinders or steady. So something to take into account when you're talking current gen. And if you are a current gen player, I don't know if he's necessarily the best for you. So remember that. Same thing with Terrence Ross. He also has Hall of Fame blinders. But this card is just so stupid, dude. He should not be this good for 10K or less. I've seen this dude go as low as 7K. And that's crazy. 6'7", which I swear is bigger than his other one, the Diamond Terrence Ross. I swear he's bigger than that one. I'm not even kidding. I'd have to look it up, but he just feels bigger. That sounded weird. That definitely sounded weird. Jump shot 70, same release as E and Jonathan Isaac. Great release, but on current gen, you are going to miss a lot more whites than you want to. Excellent badge count, excellent stats, huge dunks. This dude has everything. Now, he does have that Hall of Fame steady, so something to think about if you're on current gen. If you're on next gen, absolutely go pick this dude up. If you're on current gen, just know he's going to miss the combination of the Jonathan Isaac jump shot with Hall of Fame steady. You're going to miss an incredible amount of whites. So just know that he might not be the best player for you because of that specifically. And I probably wouldn't use him on next gen or on current gen just because of that fact. I'm missing way too many whites on a game that's basically built on making more whites than your opponent. So, and number 1, Jeff Green. Jeff Green's so good. I talked about him in the 50K list. He made that list too because that's how good he is. There's nothing wrong with this card. I think he's better at the small forward position as opposed to the power forward, just because his defensive and rebounding badges are either non-existent or they're gold. So I think you can do better at the power forward, but at the small forward, yeah, he's great. Jump shot 50. Last time we saw that jump shot was the Diamond Jeff Green. It's really good. And I think Chris Kaman had it too, which is gross. I would use a new Chris Kaman card though. Nothing like a bald hooper like that to really... I respect him for not going full bald and just rocking the sides, you know? That's a respectable move. But Jeff Green, he's just so good. He needs some badges. Now, I'll say that right now. Like, especially rebounding badges, he needs. Like, box, worm. You need to put those on him regardless if he's playing the power forward or the small forward, just because you want an extra rebounder out there always. So, yeah. I mean, he's just that good, dude. Like, there's nothing wrong with this card, for sure. As always, it has been your boy Cheap Ludes. I hope this helped you out making your budget squad. I mean, you can put together an incredible like competitive team right now with players that are under 10K, and that's kind of cool. So this is the point of the year when you can do that the easiest. So check out the rest of my stuff, check my description, and I'll be back with more stuff later. Peace.